Sembrando Vida, Plan de Desarrollo para la Migración desde Minatitlán, Veracruz. So this is where he met with the Honduran president, and he is going to share with him the ideas of how he's creating jobs in Mexico to help the people make a living in Mexico and not have to travel to somewhere other than their country. Or if they do, that it'll be because they want to and as a vacation and for fun, not because they need to, because they can't survive, because of corruption or whatever other reasons there is. Crime in their case, there's a lot of crime in Honduras, as well as no jobs and many other life affecting issues. So this is Marcelo Ebrard that they just called in, and I stopped it there because I wanted to be able to do a little, a lead up to it so you'll know what's going on. So it's Saturday on the 27th of July, and the president is meeting with the president of the Mexican president, AMLO, is meeting with the president of Honduras, and they'll be discussing plans for creating jobs and how Mexico's going to help them. So he came to get kind of like tips. He came to get tips from the AMLO on how to get his country out of crisis and how to help his people. So that's what we're going to watch now, and I'll translate as we go, and I do it live because, well, if I screw up, I screw up, I do my best, and sometimes I can't remember my name, but, if it comes to me, it comes to me. If not, then we'll correct it later. I'll put it in the notes like I did the last video that I did. I couldn't remember the name of Grupo Mexico, which is what, was like really important in that other video, regarding the situation in with the environmental issues. It's Grupo Mexico that's been polluting the water, and it's like a mining company, but I couldn't remember the name. Not that I didn't know it, I just couldn't remember it, and you know how it is when you can't remember the name of a song or something like that. But in any case, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and start. And this is Marcelo Ebrard who's going to start, okay? Here we go. Okay. With your permission, Mr. President, I want to salutate today the President, our sister Republic of Honduras, Juan Orlando Hernandez, and his distinguished wife, Ana Garcia, and the very high-functioning officials that are here accompanying him from the state of Honduras. In a very brief way, we are going to let you know why we're here today. And if you permit me, I can tell you the 20th of July 2018, the President of Mexico, as he received the northern delegation from the President of the United States, sent them a letter that said, in resume, that the solution that we needed to do, that the commitment we all needed to do, all the countries, was that persons not have to leave their countries due to poverty, and that they need to have opportunities in their homes, their communities, and their places of origin. So where their families are, where their ancestors, their cultures are. And the President of Mexico proposed this to the United States. But also, we proposed it as well at the G20, where the more developed countries of the world, we told them the same. We need to urgently help. We need to do an investment help with development in Guatemala, Honduras, and El Salvador principally. And today, the President of Mexico has invited the President from the Republic of Honduras in order that between the two of us, in a conjunct matter, we can announce to those countries, especially the United States, but also to other countries in the world that have more money, that Mexico and Honduras today are sending you a signal and a message that we are going to back the program Planting Life and Preparing the Future, and that we're going to help the city of our Honduras, and we're going to participate with them. And the message is that if Mexico and Honduras can do it, so why can't the United States do it? Why the more developed countries can't do it? Yes, they can, but we need for them to want to. And here what we're showing to them and demonstrating to them is that what the presidents are saying that you're going to listen to, and what President Manuel Lopez Obrador told them, development, opportunities and well-being for the people can be a reality, and we are going to do it, and it is already in Mexico and next in Honduras. Mexico and Honduras are going to show them that you can, that it does prove to have results when you give somebody a hand. And we're going to have perseverance, that the other parts of the world will look, listen, and act the way Mexico and Honduras do it. But if it's nothing else but to give the hand to someone who needs it, and not to humiliate them due to poverty and necessity. Sir President from Honduras, as of today, Mexico, due to your cooperation and your assistance to this meeting, will support the sister republic of Honduras as of this date up to December. And you take this good news to your people, and that the world listen, that it can, that we want to, and that we know how to do it. Thank you very much. Oh man, that was awesome. Woo! I like that. Showing them what you can do when you want to lend somebody a hand. You know, instead of pushing someone that's drowning in the water, you give them a hand. So everybody take their places. So now, we're going to listen to Juan Hernandez from Honduras. Good afternoon to you all, brothers, Mexicans, and thank you for being always so special with the Central American people, with Honduras. Mr. President, constitutional from the United Mexican States, and Mr. Obrador, and the Governor of Veracruz, Ebrard, the Secretary of Foreign Relations, and of the invited and special invited people, the people of Mexico, and the people of Veracruz, and people from the press, and thank you for receiving us. When we came, when I was conversing with the President, Mr. Obrador, I said I felt like I was in my land. We seem very similar, you and us, and I felt that warmth from a Latin American brother, and especially in Latin America, there's a closeness that's very, there's a triangle of Central America that's very close. And today I want to take the opportunity in order to initiate this intervention to realize the reflection over the profound meaning and significance of what we're living today and celebrating today regarding the celebrations since that pre-Columbian exit that used to unite our territories and our people in a destiny marked with struggle and goals. And today today, this very day, due to a sentiment that we shared of hope. And I would like to say that the month of September 1821, so you'll understand where this is coming from. When our people used to say independence from our nation, in 1822, when the Central America, they decided to separate to the first imperialism of Mexico. And so then 15 years it became its own nation. And so then so they in 1998 they went into a Central America. See where we come from. We came with these aspirations to get close, to see each other as neighbors and friends. But due to the real Central America doesn't die. After several intents to advance in those matters. In Managua, Nicaragua, they did a treaty of general Central American integration, and little by little it sent us into a Central American free commerce and common till we got to the month of July from 2017, where Honduras and Guatemala, we constituted the first union from the whole content of Central America. And I'm trying to explain who we are, where we are, and why we're here, and why today, where we signed our voluntary politics, we're taking a firm step to give life to the plan of development that's integral in Guatemala, El Salvador, Honduras, and Mexico. And I want to thank the President Lopez Obrador and Mr. Obrador. Thank you for that beautiful vision. We've talked about this much with other countries. The advantage with you guys is that when we talk, it goes to action. And I want to thank you very much. The value of integration gives us a new strength of life and diligence for present and future, so that we can continue being firm believers of our new identity of countries of Latin America. As of the community of Atitlán in the great state of Veracruz, Mexico, we are making this call out that to all the nations of our friendly nations, to the bank, to organisms international, and to support a legitimate development prosperity plan that looks that they're trying to confront the consequences of an irregular immigration in our countries, and it affects our families. We invite you all to listen to the voice of the people of aspirations and dreams, that they need to understand that our integration is very important, that our understanding is very important, but also we understand that to reach our expectations, we need the voluntary of the cooperation of international for development. And I would like to make in this time a invitation, and a particular invitation, as you know. The President Lopez Obrador and himself came, as we say in Honduras, from inside. We came from the land, from working as a farmer. I work in a small little land that came from Biogano, in a small apartment to the east. Hard-working people with great hearts. That's called Limpia. And we came from lands where most of it, the rural, has been taken over by poverty. and lack of opportunities. And I always said many times with an absence of state, without understanding that we are all equal before a creator and before societies. We are all equal. We share the act that today our people gave us the opportunity to serve them in these conditions and to comply with those mandates as our greatest goal, with a purpose that's fundamental in our life. And that is how that we confront common problems from all the places in the continents. The struggle against poverty, insecurity, and equality, and the look for economic growth to sustain ourselves, and the reach of the goals of prosperity, and something dignified for our nations. And besides, then in Honduras, we have advanced in these areas, that we have advanced in security. We understand that we need a lot more, but we have advanced. We need to continue advancing in social services and economical, and we've gained things that we had never gained before. But so much was the breach, so much has been the damage that we need to continue doing extraordinary effort. And we need the hand from all of you all. And we recognize that this plan of development integral is amiable and correct to continue advancing, to gain tangible, concrete actions, to respond to the necessity of our people and the whole region, and in the long term and the short term. And here I want to say to Mexico that when we started to talk about this, there was no President Obrador had not done it. Become president, but we had started working on it 4 months or so before, and the day he became president, we signed a declaration, and I said, this man, this president, is going to do it. And there we were, the brothers, president from Salvador and Guatemala. A man of works and a man of its word. Honest. This plan is the route, without doubt, for short and long term. But even so, due to the actual circumstances which our societies live, we are obligated also to give responses today, answers today, on the short term. What I just saw with these videos, the president used to say to Andres Manuel too, that Honduras depends on 5% of the culture of cultivating coffee, but more than 90% are little things. And today, the way the price is, and I want the world to hear it, if you go to New York and you buy a cup of coffee, those combinations where they make a little bit of this and that cup is approximately $5. That is to say, 500. But you know how much of those 500 cents, the Honduran, they only get not even 2 cents. That cannot continue. That cannot be, because that's why I say that now that the prices are good, or well, that are low for production, many of the producers abandon their jobs. But if we continue plants like this that generate the productivity and use technologies, the latest generation, to give more value to the sweat of the worker for coffee, the Central American or Mexican, we will do an act of great social justice and also empower the economy of the most humble, the small ones. That's what it means. That's what it's about. I cannot stop mentioning also, and I want Mexico to understand it in the world, that Central America is one of the zones most affected by this change. There's an institute that's assigned to this, and he says that the last 20 years, the country that was most affected in the world for the climate change is Honduras, his country, and we cannot, and we do not produce the contamination. That's why we have to do the call out to the world and say to them what we need also, the support to do our part, to do your part. And that's why I want to tell the President Obrador, I invite you to, on the short term, as part of this strategic plan that we are going forward, that we call out to the formation of a new quality of information to generate massive jobs in the triangle, and we're always disposed to do our part. And I know that if we join together, we'll do it. We'll be able to do it. 2 days ago, one of your people from Mexico went to Honduras, the director of SAPAI, Alisa Garza, and she said to us, President, the Secretary of General wants to join to the initiative of Mexico and the Secretary of Honduras and Guatemala. So we called the United Nations and our most close alliances and the whole world to adopt themselves to this plan of development for Honduras, Guatemala, and Mexico. And we want to be an example of how to generate opportunities in the land that we grew in, and that every human being needs to feel like they can develop here without having to look anywhere else. That's what it means. And to give an example to the world of how you construct murals of prosperity, of opportunity. That's what it means. And that's what it's about. Thank you, President Lopez Obrador and the whole team. And we're inspired. And people were pulling your shirt so that we could talk, asking questions. And I want my team to know that we're going to be going day to day because we have to make something out of this opportunity that's extraordinary. And today, to end, I want to say to the Mexican people the most profound and loving salutation from the Hondurans to Mexico that forms an inseparable part of our life in Central America, to the Mexico that with its music and its art, its culture, its attitude to life, has conquered the hearts of the people of Honduras. The Mexico that has been at our side in the most difficult parts, when nature has pummeled our land during those difficult in 1974 and the Hurricane Mitch in 1998. The first that came to help us were our Mexican brothers, and we want to thank you. To Mexico also, that with all our limitations we could go help them when they had that in 2017. We humbly, with a small group but with a big heart, we sent a group of Hondurans to help you because we wanted to reciprocate with you. And I cannot leave this tribunal without showing my appreciating to those people that have been investing in Honduras and have been, and I ask you to continue to invest in, because we are hard workers and we want to go ahead, get ahead. We ask of God to bless this plan of development integral, and we ask guidance and wisdom to give comfort to the mandate that we've received from our people to maintain to remember always
a recordar siempre con orgullo que
When-
somos parte de una
that
identidad
we are part of an
que
identity
formamos como
that
naciones
forms
de América
as a
Latina,
nation of
de no
Latin
renunciar
America,
nunca,
and never to
nunca
renounce
a las
the
expectativas de un futuro mejor
expectations of
para
a
todos.
better future for all.
Presidente López Obrador,
President Lopez Obrador,
y gracias por
thank
ver
you.
allá a
And
Centroamérica.
thank you for
Ahí
looking at
estamos
it,
sus
Central
hermanos,
America. We are your brothers,
hermanos mexicanos, ahí
Mexicans,
estamos nosotros
and
siempre.
we're there for you,
Somos
always.
hermanos
We're brothers.
latinoamericanos. Somos
Latin
hermanos del
America,
mundo.
we're
Muchas gracias.
brothers of the world. It's very nice. There's the president with one of his shirts from the artisans.
Muchas gracias, los invitamos a tan amables de ocupar sus lugares. Ahora, damas y caballeros, escuchemos el mensaje que nos dirige el presidente constitucional de los Estados Unidos mexicanos,
So now the
licenciado
Mexican
Andrés
president.
Manuel López Obrador.
Licenciado, which I thought it meant attorney. I don't know. Maybe he's just got like
Amigas,
a
amigos
license in poli-science or something.
de Minatitlán,
Brothers and sisters of
de
Mananera
pueblos,
and the
amigos,
people
comunidades,
and communities.
Pachacual,
I couldn't understand that. I guess it's one of those little countries, those little parts. Silacate,
Altipa,
Taltipa,
Ayuca.
Acayucan. There's a lot of them.
Me da mucho gusto
I am
estar
very
con
happy
ustedes
to be here with you.
en mi tierra,
And in my land,
aquí en Veracruz.
here in Veracruz.
Ya saben que soy
You know that I am
Choco Jarocho
Choco Jarocho, which I guess means he's from there, from that place.
y nos da mucho gusto
And we are very happy
tener
to be
de invitado
giving
especial
this, having this special invited person, the president of Honduras,
Orlando Hernández
Juan
Alvarado.
Hernandez Alvarado.
Esta es
This
su
is
casa,
your home,
ciudadano presidente.
brother president.
Este es un acto
This is
muy
an act
importante
that's very important
porque está demostrando que hay
because it's demonstrating that there is another option, an alternative,
para
in order to
dar solución
give solutions
racional,
rationally,
eficaz, humana
effective, humane
al fenómeno
to the
migratorio
migration phenomenon
que no debe
that should not
ser atendido
be attended
solo pensando
only thinking
en el uso de la fuerza,
in the use of force
en medidas coercitivas,
with coercive measures,
sino atendiendo
but attending the causes
que originan
that originate
la migración.
from migration.
La gente no se echa a andar, no
The
sale,
people doesn't go walking from their countries by
lo hacen por
choice.
necesidad.
They do it due to necessity.
Por eso
And that is why
celebro que estemos
I
llevando a
celebrate
cabo
that
este
we
acto,
are taking forth this act,
porque se
because
está apostando
we are betting
más que a la fuerza,
more than on
a
force
la cooperación
to
para el
cooperation
desarrollo.
for development.
Esto es lo que hemos venido sosteniendo.
That's what we've been saying all along.
De esto hemos
That
hablado
this is what we've talked
con el
about
presidente
with the
Donald
President
Trump.
Donald Trump,
para que
in order that
se apoye
we can support
a Centroamérica,
Central America,
para que
in order
se apoye
that we can support
al sur, al
the
sureste,
south, the
de
southeast
México.
of Mexico,
que de esta manera,
and that in this way,
con actividades
with
productivas,
activities that are productive,
creando empleo,
we can create
con
jobs
bienestar,
with well-being,
se logre
that we gain,
que la migración
that migration
sea opcional,
be optional,
no
not
forzada.
forcitive.
El que quiera salirse de su
That the
pueblo,
one that wants to leave his land,
lo haga por gusto.
he will do it because he
por
wants to,
necesidad.
not out of necessity.
Lo que queremos
What we want
es que
is that
el
the
centroamericano,
Central Americans,
el mexicano,
the Mexicans,
puedan trabajar
be
y ser
able
feliz
to work and be happy
donde nació,
where they were born,
donde están sus familiares,
where their families are,
sus costumbres,
their customs,
sus culturas.
their cultures.
Y por eso,
And for that reason,
claro que
of course,
aceptamos
we accept
la propuesta
the
del
proposal
presidente de Honduras,
from the President of Honduras.
Claro que vamos a
Of course,
participar
we're going to
en
participate
este programa
in this program
de
of
desarrollo
development
de los países de
in the
Centroamérica y
countries
de
of
México.
Central America and Mexico.
Vamos a participar
And
con
we
lo
are
que
going to
corresponde,
participate with what is
incluso
our part, and
aportando
also
recursos.
giving resources.
Hay quienes
There are those that
cuestionan
question
nuestra postura,
that
y
position,
llegan hasta
and they even
la xenofobia.
they get into this
¿Qué significa
xenophobic.
eso?
They scared of other
El
people
rechazo,
to turn away
el odio al
and
extranjero.
hate the foreigner.
Nosotros no podemos
We cannot
actuar de esa
act
manera,
that way
porque
because
todos somos seres humanos,
we are all humans,
inclusive
or human beings, and inclusively,
religiosos.
even those religious
Que
ones
leen la Biblia
that
saben que hay un pasaje
read the Bible
donde se
say
dice
there's a Bible passage that says that we need to treat well the foreigner.
de estar rechazando al migrante
No
que
turning
por
away the
necesidad,
foreigner that because of necessity has to go look for life,
arriesgándolo todo
risking it all
para buscar algo que
in order
mitigue
to
su
find
hambre y su
something that will
pobreza.
mitigate his
Nunca
hunger
en México
and his poverty.
se va a
Never in
fomentar
Mexico will we
esa
tolerate
idea
that kind of thinking
de xenofobia.
of xenophobia.
Nunca
Never.
rechazo al
I
extranjero.
hate that
Somos
and never
hermanos.
turning away the foreigner. We are brothers.
Fraternidad universal.
Fraternity universally.
Tenemos por eso
That's why we have to help each other in union, in unison, and
ese
offer
apoyo.
that support.
Los países hermanos
The brotherly
de Centroamérica. Nos unen muchas
people
cosas.
from Central America. We're united by a lot of things, not just from today,
Tiempo atrás,
from times
desde
before,
hace siglos,
from centuries.
en Honduras,
In
hay un
Honduras,
centro
there's a center,
cultural
a cultural center,
importantísimo
that's very important
de la gran cultura maya,
of the grand Mayan culture
que floreció
that flourished
culturalmente
culturally
al mismo tiempo.
and at the same time,
Siglo V, VI,
century 5, 6,
nuestra era, después de
from our era after Christ,
5 o 6.
5 or 6.
Al mismo tiempo
At the same time
que Tikal
that Tikal
en Guatemala.
in Guatemala,
Y al mismo tiempo
and at the same
estaba
time
en su esplendor
that it was in its splendor
Cancún, en Campeche,
in Campeche,
Palenque, en Chiapas.
Palenque in Chiapas.
Una gran civilización.
A great
No había
civilization.
las fronteras de
There
ahora.
weren't these frontiers or these borders. This was all America. It was one
Por
culture.
eso, ahora que veníamos
That's why when we were talking
con el presidente
with the
Orlando
President
Hernández,
Orlando
decía,
Hernandez,
"Son
I
los
said,
mismos rostros,
we
somos
look
dos,
alike. Well,
y
of course,
tenemos los mismos
we have the
orígenes.
same
Somos
origins.
hermanos.
We are brothers.
La misma cultura.
The same culture.
Por eso
And that is
nos da
why
mucho gusto
we are very happy
participar
to
en este acto.
participate in this act
Y ofrecemos
and offer
manera
a way
fraterna,
that's fraternal,
sincera, franca,
sincere, and
nuestro
frank
apoyo.
with our support to the people of Honduras, the government of Honduras.
Estamos aquí
We are
en
here
este video
in this place,
porque
in this
estamos
video,
produciendo las
because
plantas
we're producing
para
the
el
plants
programa
for
Sembrando
the
Vida.
programs Planting Life.
Programa que
This program
ustedes
that you've
conocen.
known about,
Es
it's
importantísimo
very important
porque
because
solo este año
this year
se
alone,
van a sembrar
we're planting
500,000 hectáreas
500,000 hectares
en el sureste
in
de
the
nuestro país.
southeast of our country.
Veracruz,
Veracruz,
Chiapas,
Chiapas, Tabasco, Campeche, and Quintana Roo. Yucatán.
Básicamente,
Basically,
500,000 hectáreas
500,000 hectares
este año.
this
Ya
year.
están trabajando como sembradores. en
And
este
now we
programa,
have people working in this program planting
200,000
200,000 people,
personas, hombres y mujeres,
males and females,
también
that
están trabajando.
are also working.
200,000
200,000 in this program.
que tienen empleo,
They have jobs.
están recibiendo un
They are
formal.
receiving
Total son 5,000 pesos
5,000 a month,
mensuales, 4,500
4,500 directly, and 500 as a saving, so that they can continue to have possibilities
Si
that if
terminamos
we finish
nuestro mandato
our mandate
en el 24,
in the year
no va a haber
24,
elección.
there won't be an election.
No,
No.
sufragio efectivo, no reelección.
He says, I will not be reelected, but ending this government, you'll have that saving to continue with your planting life, so that you can maintain it, this program. That's how it's been conceived. So the next year we'll put 500,000 more, another 200,000 employees. I said to the President of Honduras that it's very important to understand the great riches of Mexico is in the fields that was abandoned. The field labor is the best, most important thing in this land, because you can reactivate the economy. You can generate many jobs. And we have everything that you need. We have land. We have water. The knowledge, understanding that came from far. The majority of the producers, whether they be small companies or big companies, they know when to plant, an astronomical that came from the Mayas. So yes, we can this way to create jobs. I told the President of Honduras that of course we can bring automotive plant from Europe, and you can generate jobs, and we'll continue to promote that companies come and we continue to develop with that purpose, and that investors come and that there be companies. But if companies come that are big and they invest a lot of money, generally they already have technology that's very advanced, that's automated. They might even have robots. They won't utilize very much hand labor. So, but with this program, you can plant 1,000,000 hectares. You'll have 400,000 jobs. And how much does that mean in investment? This year, 25,000 million. Next year, it'll be $50 million next year. And we can continue. Can we or can't we? Of course, 50 million, the 50,000 million. Do you know how much we're saving? Because we've already gave Huachicole hit really tough. That's the gas thieves, by the way, you guys. He says, you want me to tell you the amount? They used to steal 800 pipes a day of gas. And now we've lowered it. It's still not quite over, because it was really enrooted. This illicit bad. But now they only steal 40 a day. It used to be 800. Do you know how much that theft last year? 65,000 million pesos lost. And if we continue like that, how much are we going to save? Exactly 50,000 million pesos. So we have enough to finance the program Financing Life, Planting Life.
Nada más,
No more.
con una acción.
Well, with that one action,
Vamos
in order that we know the importance that it has
a acabar con la
to
corrupción
end
y
corruption
con la impunidad.
and
Vamos a
impunity.
desterrar
We are going to
la corrupción,
unearth
impunidad,
corruption and
el
impunity.
canso.
If I'm lying, I'm dying, basically. Me canso canso just means it rhymes with if I tire, something about a goose. This program, Planting Life, will be applied in Honduras. And also the program of youth, constructing the future. This is very important. This program consists of that he that does not study and doesn't have a job, you give him work as apprentices. And you pay him a salary, $3,600 a month, until he becomes capacitated. And so he has a tutor. He could be a teacher of mechanics, electricity, commercial, business owner, that will train and guide him, not only in the capacity of the job and the profession, but he needs to orient him in the good, so that he won't fall into temptation, and so he won't be caught to go in the antisocial conduct. So we've just informed the President of Honduras that now we have 900,000 youth in this program. Young people creating the future. And we are going to get to 2 million of the young people. And that's what we want. That not a single young person without either studying or with work. Because 1,000 times better to have the young people either working or studying, or then working on or hanging around in the street. And that way we'll solve the grave problem of insecurity and violence, among other things. And we're going to compete with the delinquency. It tries to take the young people. So now let's see. No, you aren't taking them. We're going to take them. We're going to take our young people and we're going to protect them. Never again will we turn our backs on the youth. It ends now. That program also is being proposed to be applied in Honduras. And I respond to the President of Honduras that we will support to better the production of coffee in everything that is required. From the development, genetic, up to commercialization, and dealing with the tariffs, that you won't have any problem with selling your coffee. And we will support you, Honduras, in everything that we are. And we are happy to be able to do this, and that you came today, you and your wife, and your public officials from this is your home. You're welcome here, basically. And to tell you that we will, all of us, my people from Veracruz, and all our Mexican people, we are doing very well. And we're in in a good mood. We're doing well and we're in good moods. We are taking forth the fourth transformation of the public life of this country. And here, to our visitors, in a brief way, we will explain why the fourth transformation. We say to the President that in our country there have been 3 great transformations. One was independence,
que coincidió con la
It
independencia
coincided with the
de
independence of
Honduras,
Honduras
porque la
because the
independencia
independence was
de los países
from the
de América
countries
Latina
of Latin
sucedió
America was
prácticamente
about
al mismo tiempo.
the same time.
Siempre
Practically. Always,
yo en la primera mitad
it was in the
de
first
este
half
siglo
of the
XIX.
century of
Así se logró la
19th century.
independencia
And that's how we
de la
got
mayoría
the
de los países
independence
de América Latina
of the
que
most of the Latin American countries
estaban
that were
sometidos a España.
under Spain.
Fue en el mismo tiempo
It was at the
que
same
se
time
logró
that
la
we gained
independencia
the
de todos los países.
independence for all the
Nuestro
countries.
país
Our country
no solo fue la lucha de independencia,
not only
también
struggled
fue la
with
lucha
independence,
de la justicia.
but it was also
Este
a struggle for
movimiento
justice.
independentista lo encabezaron dos curas buenos,
It was
rebeldes,
headed by two rebel
Hidalgo y Moreno,
Hidalgo and Moreno,
lucharon por la independencia, pero
that
también
struggled for
fueron los primeros en
independence, but they
proclamar
were also the
la
first to
abolición de la
proclaim the
esclavitud
abolition of
y
slavery,
en luchar por
and
la
they
igualdad.
struggled for equality.
Morelos decía
Morelos
que
used
se
to say
modere la indigencia
that you
y
need
la
to
opulencia.
moderate
Decía un
indigence
texto que
and
citó,
opulence.
se llama Los sentimientos de la nación.
It's called the sentiments of the nation. Morelos used to say, in the beginnings of the century of the 19th century, about 200 years ago, that you elevate the salary of the peon.
Fíjense, de qué manera tan
Listen
sencilla
to
y
how
clara
simple and clear
que se eleve el
to
salario del
elevate
peón.
the
Decía
salary of
Morelos,
the
que se
peon,
eduque
to
al hijo del
educate
campesino
the son of the
como al hijo
field
del
labor,
más rico
the same
hacendado.
as the richest man that's sitting.
Decía Morelos,
Morelos
que
used
haya
to say
tribunales
that there be
que protejan
tribunals,
al débil
that they
de los
protect the
abusos
weak from
que
the
comete
abuses
el fuerte.
that the strong
Eso era
can do.
el general Morelos.
That was the General Morelos.
Esa fue una transformación.
That was a transformation. The second transformation
La encabezó
was headed by
el mejor presidente que
the
ha habido
best
en la historia de
president
nuestro
that
país,
has been
indígena,
in our
guatemalteco,
country,
Benito Juárez García.
Benito Juárez.
Fue el movimiento
It
de
was the
reforma.
movement of reform.
Aquí
Here,
tuvo que enfrentar a
he
los
had to
conservadores,
confront the conservatives.
como ha sucedido varias veces
That has happened many
en la
times
historia,
in history.
se oponen a los
They
cambios.
oppose to the changes.
Ya cuando en
And
ese
once
entonces los conservadores
The conservatives
estaban
were then
derrotados,
beat.
se atrevieron a ir al
They
extranjero.
they went to other
Trajeron a un
countries
príncipe,
and they brought a prince,
Maximiliano,
Maximiliano,
Carlota,
Carlota,
y
the empress
quisieron
Carlota,
someter,
and they
volvernos
tried
de nuevo, Colombia.
to put us to turn
Juárez, los liberales,
the liberals.
no claudicaron.
They didn't allow.
Juárez tenía muchas
Juárez
virtudes,
had a lot of
una
virtues,
fundamental,
and one fundamentally, he was the man that was
nunca
perseverant.
perdió la fe
He never lost the faith in the
que
cause
defendía.
of defending,
Así,
and that
con
is
mucho esfuerzo,
with much
mucho
struggle
sacrificio,
and
acaba
sacrifices.
de recordarse
It just, you need to remember that in a
de
year,
su muerte
in his death,
y hablábamos
and we used to talk
de cómo él luchando
of how
aquí
he
contra
struggled
los
here
caballeros, los franceses,
because we were invaded by the
el
French.
ejército más poderoso del
At that
mundo.
time, it was the strongest army in the world,
Se tuvo que ir
and his wife had to go into
a
exile
Estados Unidos,
to the
murieron
US,
dos de sus hijos, no los
and
pudo
her
ver.
two of their children died, and they
Y
couldn't see him,
resistió
and he resisted
hasta que se
until
logró
he gained
restaurar la
to
república.
restore the republic,
Se expulsó a los extranjeros.
and he expulsed
Se
the
conquistó esa
foreigners,
segunda independencia
and
de
they
México.
had the second independence of Mexico. The third transformation was the revolution of 1910,
Porque
because
un presidente
a president
se le olvidó
forgot
de que
that
no se puede
you cannot
mantener
maintain
mucho tiempo
too much
una
time
dictadura.
a dictatorship.
Llegó con la bandera de la
So
no
he
reelección
went
y se quedó
with a
34 años.
flag that said no re-election, and he stayed 34 years in the presidency. And not only that, he enslaved the people, and that's why the
La
rebellion.
campesina
the workers, and that's why the movement of the democratic movement that was led by Francisco Madero, he's the apostle of our democracy.
Y Emiliano Zapata.
And Emiliano
Y
Zapata.
Francisco Villa.
And Francisco Villa.
Y los hermanos Flores Magón.
And the brothers Flores Magón.
Tres transformaciones.
3 transformations. Independence,
Reforma,
reform,
revolución,
and
y
revolution.
nosotros queremos llevar a cabo.
And we want to take,
Estamos
and
llevando
we are taking forth
a cabo la verdad.
the true.
No, estoy
No,
presumiendo.
I'm not just saying
Estamos
it,
llevando a cabo
but we are
la
taking
cuarta
the 4th
de la
transformation
vida pública de
of the
México.
public life of Mexico.
El presidente,
The president,
lo más importante
the most important
es
thing,
que las tres transformaciones
the 3 transformations that have happened in our country due to the circumstances that they had to be done with arms.
y esta cuarta transformación
And this 4th transformation, we're doing it
pacífica.
in a peaceful way, without violence.
Tan es así
So much is it so
que miren
that look
lo que hacen
what
los soldados.
the soldiers do in Mexico.
El soldado es pueblo,
Because the
uniformado.
soldiers are also a people that are in uniform. And I am so grateful to the Secretary of National Defense,
A la Secretaría de
the
Marina.
Secretary of the Marines.
Fíjense,
Imagine,
es como cuando
it's like
se
when
encierra una cárcel,
you put somebody in
se
jail
abre una
and you
escuela.
open a school.
Así.
It's
En
like
un
that.
campo militar,
From one
sembrando
military camp,
vida,
now they're
sembrando
planting
planta.
life, they're planting plants.
Ese es nuestro ejército.
That is our military.
Esas son nuestras fuerzas armadas.
These are our armed
Y
forces.
ese es nuestro pueblo.
And this is
Y
our
yo
people.
No les voy a fallar.
And I will
Porque
not
amor
fail you,
con
because
amor se paga.
love is paid with love.
Que vivan los pueblos
May the people, the townships
indígenas
of the
de
indigenous
México, de
people of Mexico and
Centroamérica.
Central America live,
Que viva la cultura maya.
to live the culture of the Mayan
Que
people.
viva Centroamérica.
Central America, long live Central America.
Honduras.
To live Honduras.
Viva México.
Long live Mexico. Long live
Viva
Mexico.
México.
Long live Mexico. Awesome. Wow. Impressive. Oh man, I'm always in awe of this man. I'm like this little schoolgirl or something. But I find him to be so doggone on the money, so impressive, you know. What can I say? That was awesome. Just to watch, you know, oh man, I want to put a monitor in there. Give me a second. Sorry, guys. Somewhere around here is a monitor. Ta-da. I'm so sorry. Oh, I better not do that one. I'll just go back to the one I had. Oh, okay. Not that one. Not that one. This one. Okay. All right. So anyway, I just wanted to say this meeting was really beautiful. It was about Mexico and Honduras talking about their plans for work, creating jobs for the Central American people in Honduras, for everybody to get together, kind of a shout out to the internationally stronger countries to help and to see that when you reach out in a helping hand and in a loving manner, and you understand that we are all the same, that you can actually do something good and it can be done. And you know, to the U.S. President and the people of the U.S., I say to you that if you pay attention to this, and if you're one of those people that are against the migration of the people that are trying to come over here, pay attention to this, because this may be how they will stop wanting to come here. And you know, as humans, those people are coming for necessity. out of necessity. Excuse me. And and it's horrible that most Americans that I've talked to have the idea or the intention to, instead of giving a helping hand to their brother, they throw them back in the water to drown. Because these are people that are drowning. You know, they're drowning in dire poverty and horrible situations. I've watched some of the videos of some of the things that are going on there, and man, I'd be running for the hills myself. And I'd like to think that there's a place I could go to that would help me. And right now that place is Mexico. And you know, where the American people are saying, we don't want you here, the Mexican people say, we'll take you, we'll protect you, we'll give you what you need, just stay here. And unfortunately, they believe what's in the movies about this wonderful U.S. and everything, everybody's rich. They are so wrong. There's so much poverty in the U.S. too, because the rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer, and we're losing all our things that used to be free, like education and you know, all the beautiful programs we used to have in art and music. You know, those things, they got cut out because they wanted to take that money and use it for other things. And I suspect it's usually for their own pockets in a way. You know, I don't know if it's indirect or direct, but I believe it's another form of corruption. Let's call it what it is. And I think they should pay attention. And the people of America should pay attention to what's possible when a leader chooses to help his people, like Mexico is doing. He's helping his people and he's providing the necessities of life. And no, it's not a socialist. He still, you know, wants people to be able to work and make a living, and, you know, but he is helping the poor first. That's where he changes it up, as opposed to giving all the millions of dollars to the big companies and the tax breaks and everything to the big companies. He's starting out by helping the poor people, and then they can help the economy, and then, well, heck, everybody will be all the better for it. You big companies and rich people, you'll have more people to buy things from you. Just keep working on your product, make your product good, and more people will buy from you. Because those of you that are creating junk that falls apart in a couple of years, you ought to be ashamed of yourselves. There's things that you put plastic where it should be metal, and you know, plastic where it should be titanium, or computers that have a programmed die date. And you know, it's not right that you guys keep taking advantage of the public. And so I'm on my soapbox again. I do it all the time. I'm sorry, but I get really impassionate about these things because I just hate to see my fellow man suffering like they are. And I want this world to be something good for my grandchildren to live in. And I want there to be a world, because with all the corruption, they're also destroying our environment, and global warming and all these other problems. It's all about corruption and greed, and somebody needs to do something about it. And we all need to band together. We need to get together and do something to help open your eyes and make sure that you do the right thing. You know, do the right thing for your fellow man. Help people when you can. Be kind, loving. All right. I'll let you go. Have a great day. Ciao.